Hey guys, it's Tamara back with another video. I want to answer a question. As you know, sometimes I will answer questions on my YouTube page and give you answers and then open discussion about a particular topic. So this question was about how do you get a loved one into the hospital? Or how do you get them into counseling? So an example would be, let's say your husband is an alcoholic and he drinks 2 glasses of wine every night, Monday through Monday, right? Monday through the next Monday. Sunday and Saturday, he's okay, but the work week, he doesn't do very well. So I guess I should say Monday through Friday, not Monday through Monday, Monday through Friday. And you've noticed that his drinking becomes an issue and you don't know what to do about it, right? You've offered counseling, you've asked if he could possibly just talk to someone and get some support, and he says absolutely not, like, I don't need counseling. So what do you do with somebody like that? I think the best thing to do is often to go to counseling yourself. Be that model, be that example. So let's say, for example, this is your husband, he's an alcoholic. You realize that he's depressed and highly anxious about everything. He has temper tantrums, like basically he's pretty reactive, doesn't know how to control himself, a lot of road rage, a lot of depression, sleeping for long hours, isolation, things like that. Well, what do you do? First, I would go to counseling and I would explain to your husband that, you know, I feel that I need support in figuring out how to support you, right? So try to turn everything back around to them, help them see that everything you do is for the benefit of them. You can also use I statements. So I feel that you have an issue with alcohol. I feel that you have an issue with depression. I'm concerned that something is going on. That takes the pressure off of the other person. Instead of you saying you, right? You have a problem with alcohol. You have a problem with depression. You have a problem, right? Instead of doing that, you're saying, I feel you have an issue with alcohol. I feel that you're struggling right now, and I feel that you need counseling, right? So turn things around, restructure your conversation by using I statements. The third thing I want to encourage you to do is to be compassionate and empathetic. Understand that we live in a society, and you can even share this with your husband, that we live in a society where men are seen as the patriarch of the family. They're seen as the one who provides. They're seen as the one who's supposed to be strong and disciplinary. They're supposed to be the disciplinarian, I should say. We also, excuse me guys, I have like a tag in my jacket and it's scratching me. But you know, we live in a society where the image projected onto men is that they can't be sensitive, they can't cry, they can't hurt, they can't feel. And I think it's important to tell your husband, your son, your daughter, whoever is having a hard time getting a loved one into treatment, especially if it's a man, express that you understand that the society puts onto them certain images and certain ideas and sociological perspectives that just aren't real, right? Men hurt, women hurt. Men cry, women cry, right? Women get hurt and tired and fatigued. Men get hurt, tired, and fatigued. It's called being a human. So I think providing that kind of education to your husband is going to be important. Men have a particularly difficult time going into treatment, especially if they are depressed and are having suicidal thoughts. In fact, research on suicide basically suggests that men are the ones who go to the more violent attempts to commit suicide. I'm sorry guys, I'm having a hard time here today. So men go to the more aggressive and violent means. I'm going to post the link to a webinar that I just recently gave with the National Board for Certified Counselors, and I talked a little bit about that. But men and boys tend to go to the more aggressive, extreme forms of suicide or attempted suicide, such as jumping off of things, guns, knives, whereas females tend to kind of flirt with suicide, right? They cut, they might do something else that's kind of risky. They might look to overdose, but men tend to just pick up a gun and shoot themselves or jump off of something or something more aggressive. So when you're dealing with somebody who, or you're dealing with a man or somebody who is worried about how they're going to be perceived because they need help, I think it's important to educate them and let them know that it's okay to hurt, it's okay to cry, it's okay, and I'm here not to judge you but to love you. And not only that, but we need to teach other men how to step out and speak up about these kind of things, and you're the first step to doing that, right? So educate them and then push them and promote them as well. Help them understand that when you step out, you encourage another man to step out. Your story may encourage and facilitate change for another man. The next thing and the final thing that I suggest that you do is ask your husband to come to therapy sessions with you. So let's say you pursue a counselor yourself. I think it's okay to be like, you know what, honey, can you just come to one of my sessions and just kind of sit and get a feel for things? Two things can happen if that happens. One, he can get a little bit of an idea without feeling targeted about what therapy is. The second thing is that you might be able to engage your husband in conversation, and he might start to talk about himself and talk about the marriage and the relationship and kind of open up a little bit. So see if you can kind of finagle things that way, right? Like get him to come to one of your sessions, make it all about you, and just ask him to come along. And you'd be surprised. I've had some moms do that, some wives do that, and the husband ends up taking over the entire session. And then after like so many sessions of that, I'll say, would you like me to find you a therapist for yourself, somebody to talk to? And they're a little bit more open to the idea in that way. All right, guys, thanks so much for being with me today. Thank you so much, Kimberly, for that question. That was a great question. I decided to just kind of jump into your question and give you tips. I didn't read your question, which was a request. So thank you so much, Kimberly, for that question. I think that was an awesome question. I encourage you guys to give this video a thumbs up if it was helpful to you, and hit that subscribe button if you want to keep up with videos like this. I did have a few people comment and ask me to focus on some topics, so we're going to do that. So stay tuned because I hear you guys. I really do. So thanks so much, guys, for comments and questions and encouragement and inspiration and engagement. You guys are awesome. I'll see you next week with another video. Bye bye, guys.